What it is, ho, what's up?
An alter ego is an alternative personality used to change your perception of yourself to transform your character. Artists use it all the time to revamp their image to their audience. Diddy for years has been changing his name depending on the stages in his career. He went from Sean to P. Diddy to Puff Daddy and even Mr. Brother Love. These changes have been working in his favor. As he rebrands himself, his audience sees this new version of Sean and he's able to continue his career rebranding his image, seemingly erasing the bad press that followed his old names. This is the lost art of alter egos, the many faces of Diddy. Sean John Combs is Diddy's birth name. This is the beginning stages of developing into what we know as Diddy. Wanting to dive into the realm of business and business administration at Howard University, he started out by throwing big parties, which gave him a reputation, but most importantly, money in his pocket. This became the visionary part of Diddy's persona that helped him transgress into the music world. As a dancer, to an artist, to a label CEO, Sean got his start in the industry as an intern for Uptown Records, then becoming a talent executive. Sean, understanding that he wants to rise to the top, became more savvy with the empire he wants to build for himself. Coming to this conclusion as he was fired from Uptown Records and created the Bad Boy label.
It all goes back to one point. So I have a dream. A lot of times people see your dreams as they crazy. You going for your passion you have for your dreams may make you act crazy. You're trying to reach your goals for your dreams. You're driven, you know. The dreams you have are so visionary, they may call you a genius. But it's just I'm a dreamer. I love closing my eyes and dreaming. I don't really deal with reality when I deal with trying to work towards the future. I can't deal with what a reality is supposed to be. I have to take it to where I see it could go, where I feel it could go. I have to dream. No matter if I succeed or fail, I can never be afraid of dreaming. I think that's what's got me this far.
Because Sean has a good ear for music, he would scout out people that had immense talent, like Biggie, Mary J. Blige, Mace. He used other people to build the Bad Boy vision. The success of Bad Boy and the influence of the people around him made Sean want to dive into the world of fashion.
Diddy, the new collection is great.
You could call me Sean, Harold.
Okay, Sean.
Matter of fact, you could call me Sean John.
Sean John is a fashion lifestyle company. The line made its fashion debut with the men's sportswear collection in 1998. The vision for Sean John was a luxury fashion brand catered to men, introducing hip-hop to high fashion on a global scale, intertwining streetwear and luxury. This business model would prove to be a success as it went on to be highlighted as the first televised fashion runway show. In the year 2000, the brand boasted sales of $200 million. It was a must for high-profile celebrities to wear Sean John to boost its popularity. Their main asset was not only their luxury suits, but their Velcro streetwear. Sean sold the company in 2016 when it was garnering approximately $450 million just to buy it back in 2021. Sean Combs being the visionary for Diddy's many egos. Puffy, or Puff Daddy, on the other hand, is more of the street stage persona. He said he got the name from when he was a child because he would be huffing and puffing when he was angry, but fully adopted this name in the early 90s when he started diving into music. Having so many talented artists by his side, he was inspired to start creating music also, releasing his first single, Can't Nobody Hold Me Down, which spent 28 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, peaking at number 1. This obviously was a big moment in his career as he started seeing himself as more of an artist instead of an overseer. Puffy was releasing constant hit records within his label, making him want to be more out in the open next to his artists. He cameoed in a lot of the music videos, whether or not he was rapping, he just wanted his face to be a part of everything. Puff Daddy was the start of an overinflated ego to be seen and heard instead of staying in the shadows. So much that it was actually used against him by Suge Knight. Puffy and Suge had the biggest record labels in the 90s, and tensions started to rise between them. Suge famously threw shade at Puffy at the 1995 Source Awards, where Suge famously said,
"And one other thing I'd like to say, any artist out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star and don't want to have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the videos, all on the record, dancing, come to Death Row."
Tensions were already swirling between the labels. One of the many reasons was because Tupac accused Biggie and Puffy of orchestrating or knowing the people that robbed and shot him at a New York studio. This rivalry between the East Coast and West Coast seemed like it was good for business to the average viewer, and maybe at one point it was until things really began to take a toll for the worst.
We got the ways to make them use their talent to the maximum effect, and that's what this is about. Everybody rap. We don't rap. We rap to make money. We do business. Ain't no other record company out there that sold as many records as we did. We outsold Bad Boy, LaFace, every black record label out there. We outsold them in 1 year. And I'm a convict, and my homeboy just got off a murder case. So that tell you that it's pure talent, no hype. We don't got no all-American smiles. They don't even want to buy our record, but they gotta buy our record because we represent the street. So Death Row East is gonna be a personification of what we did on the West Side. We're gonna do it to the East Side, and we're gonna prove once and for all that all these people talking about an East Coast, West Coast war, they like the Judas was to Jesus. They only here to cause confusion. We here to bring money and to bring change. They here to cause confusion. All these weak rappers, Nas, all these suckers, they battling off of East and West like this is a game. This ain't no game. If this was chess, we'd be yelling checkmate 3 years ago because we've been beat these. It's not a game.
People were getting hurt, and constant false narratives were fueling the tabloids to the point Puffy decided to pen a letter to Vibe magazine. A part of the letter stating, "This negative perception that has been perpetuated for the masses will not get in the way of my vision. Any animosity that has occurred between Bad Boy and Death Row should not be a catalyst for the East Coast-West Coast rivalry. It is no secret that we compete musically. My dream will not be deferred by deadly rumors and falsified information." This gesture unfortunately didn't stop what was happening behind the scenes. Both Tupac and Biggie were killed months apart. After Biggie's death, Diddy's career actually flourished. His album No Way Out had 5 chart-topping singles, including the song I'll Be Missing You, the Biggie tribute. The album was nominated for 5 Grammy Awards and won the Best Rap Album Grammy. At this point, Puffy was extremely successful, so you can imagine this side of him also becoming very obnoxious. As his label and image were growing in popularity, so was his entitlement. In 1999, Nas and Diddy collaborated on Nas's album I Am for the song Hate Me Now. The song came with public ridicule of its own because of the actions displayed in the music video. It had religious tones that some people thought was disrespectful to the Lord and Savior. It featured a scene of Nas and Diddy being crucified on the cross with crowns of thorns. Originally, Diddy was a cameo appearance and wanted to be included, leading Sonny to spend an additional $14,000 to have him on the cross. A lot of people found the video blasphemous. They didn't like that they would take the steps to put the imagery out there in relations to Christ. Even though Diddy shot the video and played a hand, he later had a great awakening. Him being a religious man, a religious Catholic man, woke up on a guilty conscience and decided to speak with his priest on the incident. After getting some religious counsel, he decided he was against his portrayal of him on the cross and wanted his parts taken out of the music video. He contacted Nas's manager Steve Stout to change the parts before it was set to air. Unfortunately, Nas's manager either didn't get to make the changes on time or the original version was accidentally sent. It aired on Total Request Live on April 15th and the original cut was accidentally shown. This did not make Puffy happy and he was enraged. 1, because it went against his religious request, and 2, he felt disrespected. Less than an hour after it aired, Diddy barged into Steve's office with his bodyguards and started attacking him, smashing a bottle of champagne on his head and even broke his arm.
Arrested on charges of second-degree assault and criminal mischief in connection with last Thursday's alleged attack on Interscope executive Steve Stout, who also serves as Nas's manager and executive produced Nas's album I Am. According to the police report, Combs and 2 other unidentified men entered Stout's office around 4:30 p.m. and attacked him, leaving him with a fractured arm and numerous cuts and bruises.
Diddy was arrested and sued, and later ended up settling in court, and the video was later banned. Reaching a new affluent height, Puffy felt untouchable, and started using his resources to get him out of trouble. In 1999, Puffy and J-Lo were a couple. They went to a party to celebrate Puffy's then-new artist Shine's debut album. A shooting broke out when Puffy allegedly accidentally bumped into a man named Scar. Things escalated between the 2 entourages and a shooting broke out. Puffy and J-Lo fled the scene along with Shine. Diddy was eventually arrested. During his trial, witnesses said they seen Combs with the weapon, and his driver testified that Puffy had bribed him to claim the ownership of the weapon. Puffy, having the proper resources, got Johnny Cochran as his lawyer, who created enough doubt that Puffy was acquitted of his charges. But his artist Shine wasn't that lucky, and just like that, he was sentenced to 9 years in prison. His conviction upset him because he felt like Puffy sold him out to save himself.
Alongside Sean Puffy Combs. While all eyes were fixated on the hip-hop mogul, few paid much, if any, attention to the plight of his 22-year-old protege. Now, 3 years into Shine's decade-long sentence, for the first time ever, the imprisoned rapper speaks on camera about his co-defendant and the infamous trial that landed him here, behind bars.
People probably have the impression that you're just consumed with the idea that, you know, justice wasn't served here and that somebody turned his back on you.
It's not a matter of, you know, turning your back on me. Like, how do you call a witness to testify against your comrade?
After this shooting, Puffy decided to take a whole 360 to save his bad boy image he was creating for himself and change his name to P. Diddy. At this point, P. Diddy wanted to take a more serious route and start in the movie Made. He wanted to act more and divulge into the industry, producing the soundtrack album for the movie Training Day. Also ending Bad Boy's distribution deal with Arista Records, gaining full control of his label, its catalog, and its roster of artists. He released an album called The Saga Continues that reached number 2 on Billboard. Now being known as P. Diddy and gaining control of his label, he created a reality show called Making of the Band, which notably had Danny DeCane and Day 26 as the highlight for the show. In this show, Diddy played with his power and continued to show his egotistical side. It could have been for TV purposes, but it was very unnecessary and dramatic. There was a very memorable scene where he made the contestants walk 3 hours to Brooklyn to get him some cheesecake.
I want me a piece of cheesecake. You know where to get the cheesecake spot is at? Yeah, and y'all can walk from here, get the cheesecake, see the city, enjoy the sights, would you? Show them around. Take them over the Brooklyn Bridge, let that wind hit them off the water. See how y'all feel as a group.
It's not about me trying to do a mean-spirited initiation hazing act to them. It's a bigger picture to it. In the world of music, I gotta get up every day and do a bunch of that I don't want to do. I gotta bite my tongue and I gotta do it with a smile on my face. But I do want some cheesecake.
So I'll see y'all in a little while. Take your time, enjoy it. Be bad boy. Somebody ain't got the passion, the drive, the intensity to want it. Somebody's mental capacity breaks at a certain point. I need to see it now. I want to see it when I'm 2 million in. There's things in life that ain't gonna be fair, and this is one of them. Get your faces right. Look at his face. Look at his face.
Son.
Yo, Frederick, I can see Miami's calling you. It's hot there. It's hot there. In Philly, you got a big mouth. You ain't really that nice, neither. He's not really that nice.
You know what Junior's is at? Yo, fam, Puffy just told us to go to the store in Brooklyn and bring him back a cheesecake and walk.
Dad, see me on TV, punk ass bitch, yo. It's crazy. If I walk to Brooklyn, I'm going to home. That's where the I live, y'all. I'm not walking to Brooklyn. Is crazy.
Yo, tell him go back and tell him we ain't doing it.
Got too much respect for him to do that.
It's slave labor right here, man.
It is, but hey, yo, if you're the captain, bro, whatever you do, I'm with.
I mean, come on, man. Everybody got to be with me, though. I'm with you. I'm with you.
You heard me?
To the end of this shit, man. So what they gonna tell me? They gonna tell me to y'all stay there, and then what? Nah, I ain't staying. I'm not staying. I'm not staying. He dropped you. He dropped me. He dropped all of us, yo. I got you.
All right, I gotta go, Tony.
Ain't gonna stop. This y'all decision on your lives. If y'all bucking on this little right here, I definitely don't want to with y'all.
Niggas want this man, but we was just on the tip like you was trying to put us out there like a bitch or something, like make us walk all the way to Brooklyn, like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't really care however you took it or whatever went through your mind. It was a mission that had to be done. All this psychological, that's ego. So the ego's in your way. So the ego made the decision, especially with a like you, when I helped get your ass out of a situation and you looking at me in my face telling me you ain't gonna do something. I can see if I told you to go rob a bank, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing I'm gonna go get some cheesecake. You got that much ego? Go do your thing, man. Don't sit here and be talking about it, man. Be fly about it. Get your swag on, walk that way. That way, do it. If you want to think about it, or if you ain't gonna walk that way, walk to Brooklyn and be happy about it.
I'm gonna tell you straight like this. Listen. Hey yo, I walk down the block with my stomach in knots. Spend time running
We ain't got nothing else. Ain't nothing else. Fred! Fred!
Y'all got me. I'm telling you, man.
Ooh, man! Man! Come on, man! This got us walking to Brooklyn for some cheesecake.
You wanna get mad with me, 'cause I am going nowhere. You wanna be bad with me, 'cause I don't ever go there.
We're gonna team up in the end, too. Y'all go under that shit.
Over. Hell, walking to Brooklyn. I ain't never do this, and I'm from New York.
I'm not your companion or your man stand. Don't hit me when you wanna give this cops and robbers.
What? Drop it. That's just a slice.
Can't bring him that.
Can't break it to him.
Y'all make me mad with y'all now, man.
Yo, you can't break him.
Sorry, we ripped you off.
And he didn't even eat it. But like I said, he was taking more serious routes to fix his public image. In 2004, P. Diddy headed the campaign Vote or Die for the presidential election, and the same year performed at the Super Bowl. In 2005, he made the announcement on the Today Show that he would be referring to Diddy as his sole name. And ladies and gentlemen, that's when the Diddy we know was born, Diddy being what I call his true version. At this point, Diddy was sitting on cash flow. Let's take in the money he was getting from his record label and the fact that he owned everyone's royalties, the millions he was getting from his clothing line Sean John, and the money he was making from making of the band and all his other extracurriculars. Diddy is filthy rich. And it was also the same year he met Cassie. Now Diddy has reached peaks where his ego was enlarged, but I really think around this time his ego was through the roof. I mean, think about it. About all the situations he was going through in the 90s with the East Coast, West Coast dynamics, him beating cases, constant lawsuits and settlements, money doesn't change you. It just brings out who you really are. And when you have that kind of money, you're basically untouchable, and that's how Diddy felt. Not only to himself, but to the public eye. His standing as this pioneer in hip-hop who founded Biggie and Mary J and Faith, and being the CEO of a black record label, he was a true entrepreneur for the black audience. Being the man that prevailed through it all, making and finding a way to be the pinnacle of success, people respected him, regardless of the shady things that transpired in his past. But the shadiness didn't stop in the future, which was glamorized in the media with Cassie's lawsuit as she detailed what went on in their decade-long relationship. Money and power, people. Money and power will always bring out someone's true nature. Cassie detailed a lot of horrific things that Diddy has done, whether it comes to control or just intimidation. Diddy felt untouchable. Cassie detailed moments where she was messing with Kid Cudi, and Diddy blew up his car in the driveway as a warning to him and Cassie, making sure to do it while him and his friends were home to see it. It sounds outlandish, but Kid Cudi's team basically confirmed the story. Throughout their relationship, Diddy used money and intimidation to his benefits, and it worked. The Diddy ego is based solely on power. Being able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, has been his driving force. In 2017, things took a turn when Diddy decided to rebrand into a new alter ego, Brother Love.
I introduced you as Sean Diddy Combs, but you've changed your name to Love. So where does that fit into the name?
I think that out here in London, you could understand, like, you know, David Bowie. I was always a fan of his, and he was able to give you different artistic personas.
Yeah.
But for me, this is actually my real life is my art, and so there's been different eras. So there's been the Puff Daddy era, the P. Diddy era. Then I dropped the P, then it was the Diddy era.
Yeah.
And now, this is the ultimate goal. I have become Love.
Okay. But do I call you Love? No.
See, this is where it gets confusing.
Y'all call me Diddy. Call me Diddy.
Okay.
But when I'm being love and I'm in that mood, because I have to always remind myself, we live in a toxic world. Right. And it's love versus hate. That's what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And I choose love. That's my new name, and love wins. Love wins. Let's go, y'all. Let's drink to that. Cheers to love.
This adoption of this character, so full of joy and grace, had people scratching their heads. Because yeah, Diddy was still successful and had a lot of backing, but the cracks did start to form in the window about Diddy's destructive, money-hungry ways. So why was he rebranding again into another persona? The death of Kim Porter and the breakup of Cassie, all within the same year of 2018, I do think put a radar on his back. Diddy at this point in his career needed a change because he was getting a lot of bad press. And we all know whatever's done in the dark will make its way into the light, and Diddy is no exemption. The death of Kim Porter was so sad and unexpected, but the conspiracies and media firestorm blamed the death on Diddy, claiming that he allegedly had something to do with it. And the breakup with Cassie painted him as the bad guy because he wasted over 10 years of her life while her music career went nowhere, while also taunting her on social media. Brother Love this time wasn't fooling people. Nobody was buying this loving character, but maybe it wasn't for us. The older audience understands Diddy's diabolical ways, so we saw straight through it. I think this time around it was for the younger generation because they don't know any better. Aside from ripping off his artists and his relationship dynamics, the younger generation doesn't know the rise of Diddy besides his label Bad Boy and connection to Biggie. So Brother Love was a great way for him to revitalize his image once again, but for the younger generation. And the Love album was a perfect example of that. He had quite a few songs titled Love and even had a Kim Porter tribute song. So it was more of a thoughtful album. And most importantly, he gave back his publishing to his former Bad Boy artists. Which seems good, right? This is considered a good gesture to the public eye, until you look a little deeper into it. Former group member of Danity Kane, Aubrey O'Day, came out and revealed why he was giving away the publishing.
I just want to throw you the facts. The deal that we were offered, this is what it is. You can have your rights back to your music after somebody else bought our catalog. So this is long after we have 2 double platinum albums. $15 an album from 2 million albums is $48 million somebody made on me. I did not make anything. We only get the amounts due since Sony bought our catalog.
Okay.
So streaming for the past couple years, it's about $800, $900. And in order to get that, I have to sign an NDA that I will never disparage Puff, Bad Boy, Janice Combs, or Justin Combs Music, or EMI, or Sony ever in public.
So that you just got recently?
I got it a few months ago. What's happening is artists are being given streaming royalties and ownership back over our publishing at a time when you have to stream a song 1 million times to make a cent.
Yeah.
When I read this, you're presenting yourself as the benevolent God that's giving everybody back their music. You've turned down millions of dollars. You can read from our attorney.
Yeah.
The money that you're getting is not coming through Puffy or Combs Music. This is a deal with Sony Music.
Okay.
I'm being offered a few $100s to sign away my rights to ever tell the story of what I went through again.
So it wasn't really a good gesture, just another way for Brother Love to save himself and kind of squash any bad blood or negative press that swirled around him. So yeah, here's your publishing, but also sign this contract that you will never speak ill on my name or Bad Boy. So this alter ego of Brother Love is just a rebrand to save his image, but obviously we have seen that it has failed tremendously. I think Diddy's era of name changing has reached its course, but these are the many faces and alter egos of Diddy. Many have been used to help his career, but all in all has been used to help rebrand himself for his music, business, and public image. Let me know what you guys think down below about Diddy, and make sure you like and subscribe. Toodles!